Car meditation. This one I will title Safety. Safety and awareness. Let's title it that. Safety and awareness. Young ladies, women, be aware of your surroundings. We not living in the days no more where you can follow your way into gas stations and grocery stores and I don't care where you live, and I mean it, where you live. You have to keep your head on the swivel. Whether you think you live in a good community, gated community, you never know. Because we're dealing in a time of different energies and spirits and things of that nature. And you have to be aware. You gotta be aware. We living in those times, man, where I always, well, I was raised a different way, but we won't get into that one on this one. But I really try to stay aware of my surroundings 24/7, and I try to teach my children and my family to do the same thing. Tell you a situation I just saw at the gas station. Coming out the gas station, there was a young lady ahead of me, and I have to tell you her ethnicity and the ethnicity of the other person involved, so that you understand, the significance of the story. So, the young lady in front of me was Hispanic, and she paid for her gas, and you could tell she was young. She might have been, at best 20, 21. She was young. And she was coming out the gas station. She was counting money, her change or whatever. She's not paying attention. She's walking back to her car. And a guy who pulled up next to me, now I've paid in the other line, got out and walking out, and everything. So a guy next to me gets out his car. And anyone who's, been around someone who gets, drunk or highly intoxicated, you know that look. You know that look. And if you don't know that look, you at least know something's wrong with this person. But this guy got out the car, and this guy was literally just, when I say had this look like if it was dark and no one was around, he would have assaulted this young lady. And you could tell he just, he was driving a nice car and all that, nice truck, he looked like it was a 2026 truck and everything. But you could tell just the way he was looking, and he literally locked on her like a wolf would on its prey, and he just followed her. And the way his eyes looked, he looked all, it was just like you could see the evilness in him of his. You could see his mind rolling. And anybody else who was watching him, which actually there was a man sitting inside the gas station, looked like he might have been having coffee and a donut, watching him, and he looked at me, I looked at him, and we both just shook our head. And I'm not gonna say, for security reasons, what I did to shake this man out of his locked gaze on this young lady, because I really knew that if opportunity presented itself, this man would have attacked this young girl. You could see it, and it's body language, it's gestures, it's things that you young ladies and women need to pay attention to let you know that there's a predator around you, that there's an animal around you, and it doesn't matter if it didn't happen. You need to be aware of what it looks like. And those body language things are things like, grabbing your crotch and, or looking crazy, or constantly grabbing your crotch when you see a woman. If you're a grown man and you're an old man, you should have been with a woman or been with women long enough to know where you're not perving. It's like a grown man doesn't perv over a woman. You don't perv over a woman. A grown man don't act like he ain't never seen a woman before. I don't care how she's carrying herself, what she's dressed like, whether she's half naked, covered, makeup, perfume, whatever. A grown man carries himself like a man. He don't perv over a woman. He don't act like it's the first time he's ever seen a woman before. So you gotta be mindful of that, when you're out in the streets, ladies. Please, 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 please stay safe and aware, and continue, as always, to fight for your life. And if anybody want to know those security tactics or anything to be aware of your surroundings, DM me. Peace. Fight for your life.